so sinja dam lo cho son ro ba jin ge lam do so cho lam do ro ba jin ge lam do so lam tu ba so ba jin ge lam do so tu ba ye shi so cha wa jin ge lam do so. As a beginning, first please, as I mentioned, just relax, be here in this place and at this moment. And then within that state, today we made the time here. We came here just to study, practice the Dharma teachings. And that is, as we repeatedly understood, and while we are here, that everyone all over the world, without any reasoning, or without no need to have any logic, naturally everyone desire for peace and happiness, and desire to free from suffering. It's just there. Yet that kind of peace and happiness doesn't come by wishing. As well, suffering doesn't go away just by wishing. So we have to understand. It's also very simple. Yet, since our mind is obscured by the confusion, the delusion, we don't see precisely the cause of peace and happiness. We don't see precisely the cause of suffering. Because of that, we create a cause of suffering deliberately because of not knowing. We destroy the cause of peace and happiness deliberately because we don't know. That's the only reason. And we're so habituated in that way. And just manifest effortlessly. So for that reason, we are studying, practicing Dharma, not as a religion, but as a method how to free from the cause of suffering, how to create the cause of the peace and happiness. For that reason, we follow step by step. So therefore, every individual has that kind of responsibility because we are in that role, in that way. That is what Buddha's teaching is about. That's why, even though Buddha taught the Dharma teachings about 600 years ago, still is so relevant. Still is completely we can apply in our daily life because it's the causality. It describes the causality, the cause and result. So this is how we have to understand the Dharma teachings and practice. So this way, if we understood this way, and if we live in that way, while we're getting benefit, we can also have the resource for others to show. It's not some small group, a selected group. Rather, we can see it's a universal, for everybody. So that this book now for this, there are so many different books are written. Right now we're studying the JOL Ornament of Liberation, written by enlightened master, who put all the complex philosophy, teachings into a small book, the JOL Ornament of Liberation, very practical way. So in this book, as you see, there are 6 topics. these 6 topics is the sums up the complete method. First, why we need to study practice, and how we can do it, and what we can expect. No? So we start Buddha nature. No. Everyone is Mahayana family in the Buddha nature, if you look at it carefully. There's a natural Mahayana, and there's the obvious Mahayana, lineage, great vehicle. Now to exercise that, we need the precious human life. The working basis is the precious human life. Now to that, to do exercise, the practice productively, we need a spiritual master. So who describes the qualities of those teachers. Very important. It's the requirement. As I mentioned, it's not a culture. When you go to college, university, you need a good lecturer who knows the subject well. Then the students who pay attention, they get a good result. If the lecturer is stumbling in the subject, the students are confused. They don't get enough. That's why the spiritual masters is that, who has good understanding in the philosophy. Not only understanding, who keeps the morality. Also means who practices it. Not just intellectualize, but who practicing these teachings. That's called moral ethics. So that is described. Now today, when we meet such kind of spiritual master, then what kind of should we practice, study? The part 4, the method. The method is the spiritual master's instruction. That's the method. The method means a method to see the Buddha nature directly. How to start? It's saying here. Introduction to part 4, means chapter 4. Since we have the primary cause, Buddha nature, which described precisely, we have come from continuous stream since beginningless samsara. So we're coming in the samsara for a long time. So in between saying, at some time, at some point, we must have gained a precious human life. Buddha nature is there. So in between, sometimes we must have born as in the life of human. This is very important, see. Very important is here, look at this. Precious human life. And also met a spiritual master. And sometime we must have met spiritual master. Look at, from the beginner's time, we must have sometimes precious human life. Sometimes we met spiritual master. So now, what went wrong? See. So, what faults have prevented us from attaining Buddhahood in the past? So what went wrong? Still we could not free from samsara. We could not achieve enlightenment. Ask the question to ourselves. This is a very important point, you see. Look at this. Just contemplate. See here are the obstacles. We have been overpowered by the 4 obstacles. See, means were influenced by the 4 different obstacles which prevented us to achieve enlightenment. So now, then, what are these 4 obstacles to the attainment of Buddhahood? Usually, you ask different questions. Sometimes you don't know how to ask questions. Now here, Gampopa is putting these direct, important questions. No. What happened? What went wrong? No. So how you see? So when I see these things, as I mentioned, it's not my attachment, but from logical point of view, it makes a great sense. It's empirical. No. Now you look at, see, being attached to this life's activities. Actually, she said, being attached to this life's, the object of the activities. We make the project, this life, and then we're involved in that project. Then we become so busy to achieve that goal. So attached to this life, like anything, any kind of thing, to become rich, to become famous, become successful, any kind of thing that we, in this life, whole our energy put into that. No time to study, practice Dharma. So this one, you see, this life, being attached to this life's goals, projects, activities. Then, being attached to the pleasure of samsara. It means, even you do now practice for next life, but next life, maybe I want to born as a human life. Or maybe born as in the God realm. Looks like the God realm is ideal to be born. Looks like they have a lot of pressure. So I want to achieve that. So that's attached to the samsaric pleasure. Then, third, being attached to peace. Even one desire to free from samsara, but for your own interest, I want to have some peace. Nirvana for me. So that also it becomes an obstacle to achieve Buddhahood, you see. It is a liberation from samsara, but it's an obstacle to become Buddha. See. Then the 4th one, not understanding the method by which enlightenment is achieved. Not enough wisdom how to become Buddha, how to achieve Buddhahood. So these 4 obstacles we went through in the different way. Different individuals, follow this different method. Now so all the obstacles put into these 4 topics, you see, look at this now. How comprehensive. Look at this now. Now next you see, how can these 4 obstacles be dispelled now, sir? How we can dispel, and how we can get out of these 4 obstacles? Is there a solution or not? No. They are dispelled by practicing the instructions heard from the spiritual masters. From this authentic spiritual master will give you the instructions how to free from these obstacles. How many instructions of the spiritual master are there? The summary, meditation on impermanence. So here see meditation is also very significant. Means practice, not intellectualize. To free from the obstacles, we have to practice, implement. So meditation on impermanence. Many people think meditation in impermanence is preliminary for kindergarten, Dharma practitioner, not for advanced practitioner. But here Gampopa said meditation on impermanence. Then next, second, meditation on the falls of samsara. Falls means disadvantage of samsara. And cause and result, the causality of that disadvantage of the samsara. In other words, the suffering of samsara. The suffering of samsara and the cause and the result of that. Third, meditation on loving kindness and compassion. And then the last one, fourth, and the various elements of cultivation of bodhicitta, means various conditions, how to cultivate bodhicitta. These four comprise the instruction of the spiritual master. So this really, in this four subject gives you a complete teaching, instructions, how to overcome all the obstacles, give you a complete method to reveal the Buddha nature. To restate, to say again, to reinforce, there are instruction on the meditation practice regarding impermanence, instruction on the meditation practice regarding reflection on the falls of samsara and on cause and its result, instruction on the meditation practices regarding loving kindness and compassion, and the instruction on how to cultivate bodhicitta. Thus, contemplating the subject of impermanence remedies attachment to this life's activities. That's the remedy. Reflecting on the falls of samsara and on karma cause and its result remedies. It remedies attachment to the pleasure of samsara. Second, the third one, meditating on loving kindness, compassion remedies attachment to pleasure or peace for oneself. The fourth, cultivating the supreme bodhicitta, means supreme mind, is the antidote for not understanding the method by which to achieve enlightenment. See, each obstacle has its own remedy. That's why you see there are 84,000 types of afflictive emotions. To purify these 84,000 afflictive emotions, so Buddha taught 84,000 categories of the teachings. Exactly what is needed, what is required. You see, it's how it's scientific, empirical. So if you spend time on this, if you contemplate carefully, you won't waste even 1 second, even 1 minute. Every time you spend, it will become fruitful, useful. But we also have to have our own clear mind to capture the meaning of these teachings. So look at this. So you should say, first you rejoice having this time to read this kind of book. Secondly, you respect the writer of this book. Buddha came in the human form and wrote this book for us, like for me. No? This. Now, say these are the factors used to cultivate the mind to develop bodhicitta. So these are all different factors as to cultivate the mind with the bodhicitta. No. As I mentioned, every sentient beings belong to the Mayana family, whether they recognize or not recognize, because they have Buddha nature. So Buddha nature is Mayana family, lineage. No. So, to reveal Buddha nature, the consummate, indispensable path is bodhicitta. To cultivate that, exercise that. When you perfect bodhicitta, then you see the Buddha nature. So because that's saying here now, how precious this book is, you see. Just for the right point. There are some very intellectual, writes very beautifully, very attractive, from the figure of speech, from the point of view of figure of speech, from the beautiful skill of writings. But when you come to the point to the meaning, you cannot find a better book than this, you see. From the time one starts taking refuge until one meditates on the meaning of the true selflessness. This is not true. True, the mistake. Not true, it's true. It's the selflessness of person and selflessness of phenomena. So you should correct this. Right. If the book is yours, then you can write that. True selflessness. Yeah, true. TWO, true. So right from taking refuge until you realized true selflessness, everything practices included in the bodhicitta. Or from the 5 paths, which will come later, 5 paths, until the 10 bhumis, end of the 10 bhumi. When at the end of the 10 bhumi, it becomes Buddha. No, all Dharma teachings are included in the cultivation of bodhicitta. So all practices are included in the bodhicitta practice. That's usually whether you know or don't know, I always say bodhicitta is important. Cultivate bodhicitta. This is what is meant here. No. Some practices form the foundation from which to cultivate the enlightenment, like the Buddha nature is the foundation to cultivate bodhicitta, the basis to cultivate bodhicitta. No, look at this. Some are the object of cultivation of the mind, means bodhicitta. Means, look at the sentient beings. Develop compassion, and that becomes an object to cultivate bodhicitta. Look at the Buddha, the complete enlightened, that you desire to achieve true great wisdom, makes the object to cultivate bodhicitta. Some are method to cultivate mind. Some are the method. When the teacher's there, the instructions there, all the method of the practice understanding are the method how to cultivate bodhicitta. Then of the methodical version. Some are the training in the cultivation of the mind. Cultivation means bodhicitta. There is a training of the aspiration bodhicitta. There is action bodhicitta's training, like 6 parameters, so forth. No? And some are the beneficial effects of the cultivation of the mind, bodhicitta. As when you cultivate bodhicitta, bring the bodhicitta into your heart, how much benefit is there? Peace, joy, fearlessness, confidence, so forth. No? How much benefit is there? Benefit for oneself, benefit for others. Some are the result of cultivation of the mind, the bodhicitta. Buddhahood is the result by the cultivation of the bodhicitta. So all minor teachings, the great vehicle teachings, are included in the cultivation of the mind bodhicitta. Therefore, all these instructions are imparted by the spiritual masters. The spiritual master who imparts these teachings, who gives these instructions, these teachings, step by step. See, depend on the spiritual master. No, so these teachings are you receive from the spiritual master. These teachings are depend on the spiritual masters. Planting the noble stock, Sutra says, the spiritual master is the source of all the virtuous teachings. The attainment of omniscience, the enlightenment, Buddhahood, depends on the instructions of the spiritual masters. No, there's no magic. You cannot buy enlightenment. You receive the teaching, you have to practice. No. That's what Buddha said. No? Buddha said, Buddha is like come round in the wall, no? Pour the water on the head, washes all the sin. No? And Buddha comes round, said, this is my realization, you take it. No. That scientifically doesn't work. So everybody, since we have the Buddha nature, we create the cause. Since everything's depends on the cause, so we have to create the cause. For that, these instructions are indispensable. It makes sense? See how important these are. First, these are introduction to the method of this, the instruction of the spiritual master. No? Now, antidote to attachment to this life. Now, what we should do? We cannot force. No, so don't attach to this life, and we will resent. What do you mean? You know, but we look at this step by step. Then it makes sense or not. Utilize our own, because we have the mind. Mind is consciousness. Conscious means you conscious something, isn't it? You conscious this is right or wrong. You conscious this is eatable or not eatable, isn't it? I conscious this, I conscious that. So that you using your own mental judgment, consciousness, the awareness. So I aware something. We have awareness. No? The mind is awareness. Mind is consciousness. So through that we use that our own mental, no, to see these things, and then practice as you can. So chapter 4 means chapter 4, Impermanence. Of these 4 instructions, the first instruction is meditation on impermanence as the antidote to attachment to this life. In general, all composite phenomena are impermanent. All that composite, there's a big, profound meaning that composite phenomena, if it is uncompounded, it's not composite, then you can say it's permanent. But that which is composite, composed by the causes and conditions, that which is composed, that is impermanent. This each has to see such a profound reason. It didn't say all the phenomena are impermanent. Say all the composite phenomena are impermanent. Try to make a logical reason. So now you can investigate. You just look at the history. Is there anyone which is composite and now is everlasting? Look at that. Is there or not? Use your own judgment, your own understanding. So that's why I say, all monks, so there are hundreds of monks, all the monks listen to me. Buddha said, all composite phenomena are impermanent. It's because that time all the monks in front of Buddha, whoever the audience there, Buddha spoke in relation to that. If there are hundreds of nuns that time, they will say, all nuns, Buddha will say that. This can relate to anybody. Just by hearing that, there's a sense of renunciation. Oh, everything is impermanent, changing. Changing means not real. So impermanence means it shows everything's not real. Today's your best friend here. You're so close. You're attached to each other. Even you want to sacrifice your life for that your friend. But after some days, it becomes bitter each other. Then you are so close, being so close, it's become unreal. Now you start giving, suffering each other. Before you try to give happiness each other. So it's not real. So there's an impermanent. Just look at this. Just by hearing the word, gives you such a great relief. Just meditate on this. What a great wisdom is there. Buddha taught so many teachings, but Gampopa just brought one line, which is all the essence just put here. Now, in what way are the impermanent? How you can say, how we can practice, how can I understand the impermanence, So the intro now this sums up all impermanence into 4 categories. The end of accumulation is dispersion, also consume, or just finished. We accumulate so much, At the end, they have to go finish. Look at this. You can see when we move to house, if you stay in one house 5 years, 10 years, and how much you have accumulated. And then after 10 years, if you move, how much accumulations you have, you see. Then you have to get rid of all those, you see. When the center, first we started the center in the Connecticut Avenue in Washington, D.C., 1 year. No? From Connecticut Avenue, then we moved to 16th Street, about 8 or 9 years. And then from that, we moved here, you know. So you can see during those times how much accumulations you have. So maybe I need this, or maybe center need this. Then when you move, there's so many things you have to get rid of.
What did you have when you came here?
That's it. That's what I mean. We start the center from the scratch.
Right.
Yes. I didn't come here, bring some $1 million, you know. We'll start center. Some people ask me, no, who supports your centers? No, they think some like head of the lineage or somebody, no, sending money. So like that anyways, you know, it goes that way. After all this, when I left 2002, I didn't have penny to take from the center. I have to leave everything behind. So look, this accumulation is gone, finish, consume, dispersion. So look that, you see. So we meditate in our mind. Just bring the picture in your life. Is this true or not? No. This is very important to bring into the mind. You feel that. So practice non-attachment. Dedicate. Because when we start the center, as usually I say, you know, this center started not to build a kingdom for individuals, but the center started for all people to participate. No, a place to share the wisdom for all sentient beings. This teaching is about for that. Not for some individuals, what's called, some individuals kind of, I don't know what to say, some individuals benefit, you know, for all people to come. So there's one. The end of all construction is falling. Means whatever that built, it may stay 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, but at the end will fall down. Now as a Buddhist, it gives us such a clear picture when you visit holy places in India, the Buddhist seat. Just ruins. Even first, second centuries, at time of Buddha, how much things are built. Huge building. That time, science and technology is not there, but how much people have devotion, power. Now just ruin. Now look at that. And just meditate in your mind. There's nothing to attach. Practice that, you see. And it gives you such a great sense of peace, harmony within you. These are real Dharma. It's called Dharma teachings. Dharma means to hold your mind from the wrong direction. That's called Dharma. Holding your mind from the delusion. Keeping the mind in the right place. That's called Dharma. Look at this. Then the ending of meeting is separating. You meet people. Even like when you walk in the street, how many people you meet on the road? Just you meet, you say hello like this, and then leave. It's meeting and finish separating. Not just in your family, not just in the group, but just when you walk on the street, you see that people and just you see each other, you meet and gone. Look at this, how impermanent. That's why past is past. Future is not come here. And this moment is changing instantly. Meditate on this. Just relax, you see, meditate on this. And just ease your mind in that state. This is the Dharma practice, you see. The end of life is death. Usually we know. As I mentioned, we know we will die one day. We all know that. But we plan to live for 1,000 years. Tomorrow I'll do this. Next year I will do this. After that I will do this. After 5 years I will do this. After 10 years I will do this. Go on and go, And who knows when we will face that end of the life. Some people think this is a pessimistic thinking. In reality, this gives you energy to work hard, to utilize your precious human life in the best way, not wasting your time. You should be done it, So these four subjects, look at these four, just carefully. All the composite phenomena are included in these four subjects. There's no anything which is not included here. That which is composite. See, the verse spoken intentionally says, the result of all accumulation is dispersion. The result of construction is falling. All who met together separate. The end of life is death. So this is general about the impermanence. How do we meditate on this? Now how we have to practice on this? So now here summary. The classification, method of meditation, and beneficial effects of the meditation. These three comprise all the contemplation on impermanence. Now, first, classification. As to classification, there are two types. The impermanence of the outer world and the impermanence of the inner sentient beings. This first to classify two. See, this. Sometimes some people say this number, Buddhist has a lot of numbers, they say. But these numbers, if you pay attention, give you a very clear picture. All the sequences, one after another, reflect in your mind. The outer wall, inner sentient beings. First look at that. No. In addition, impermanence of the outer wall is categorized in two parts: gross impermanence and subtle impermanence outside the wall. Now inside, the inner wall is also categorized in two parts: impermanence of others and impermanence of oneself. This is how to meditate, you see. Bring your mind, then you meditate, or contemplate, we should say. There's two types of meditation. One is called the analytical meditation and a stabilizing meditation. This is more like analytical meditation. You analyze, you contemplate. The method of meditations. Now, classifications finish. All this, classification. Now, the method of meditations is the impermanence of outer walls. First, First, consider the gross impermanence of the outer wall. From down below this cosmic cycle of wind up to the fourth stage of meditative concentration. Now, meditative concentration, the form wall, the fourth is highest. Now, for modern scientists, the four form wall may be very, unclear, But you can see this planet, this wall. The scientists, they say, how it's created. The air, for the wind, then the four elements come together and they create it, you see. So from the emptiness, Big Bang, and then so on like this, Meditative concentration. There is nothing that has the nature of permanence or solidity. There's no any solid. It looks like a bubble. Look, when you look at bubble, it's big, huge. It's empty, essenceless. This whole world is in that nature. There's no permanent. There's no solidity. Look at the big buildings. Look so solid. When the earth shakes, all just become into pieces, isn't it? You can see. Nothing is unchanging. Nothing is unchanging. Everything is changing. Sometimes everything from the first stage of meditative concentration in the form wall and below the wind is destroyed by fire. It's called the cosmic fire. When the earth, the sun becomes so strong, then it just burns whole, consumes by that. Sometimes everything from the second stage of meditative concentration and below is destroyed by water. So when the storm comes, washes everything. Sometimes everything from the third stage of meditative concentration and below is destroyed by wind. These are beginning of the wall, like end of the wall. It's impermanent. Basically, it's gross way of meditating. Contemplate on this. Even this whole wall can be consumed, can be finished. Like, why me? I'm so fragile. Why not me? Which is so fragile. Just contemplate on this. So bring your mind in the right place. That understanding itself is the wisdom. On the basis of that wisdom, you get wisdom to free from the attachment. When the wall is destroyed by fire, it does not even leave any ash, like oil consumed by fire. See how beautiful metaphor is. A big bowl of oil, you put a wax in the center and burns that. After a week, all oils are gone. Look at this. That's how this world transforms into. When it is destroyed by water, no sediments is left, like a salt dissolved into water. You put a handful of salt, put in the water, all disappear into the water. It's just water. Just meditate on this, contemplate. Then, when the world is destroyed by the wind, not even a tiny particle remains, like a heap of dust blown by the strong wind. With a big heap of sand, dust out there, and when the strong wind blows, it's all scattered. No dust is left. Look at that. Contemplate, meditate on this, you see. This is explained by the treasury of Abhidharma by Vasubandhu. This world will be destroyed by the fire 7 times and then once by water. When it has been destroyed by water 7 times, and then it will be destroyed by fire 7 times. At the end, it is destroyed by wind. See how fast the planet will start. And then it destroys. So first 7 times by the fire. After each 7th time, will destroy once by the water. So like that, when the world is destroyed by the 7 times by the water, then at the end will destroy, not at the end, yes, then destroy the world 7 times by the fire. Then at the end, will destroy by the wind. Then I can start that, how is world start and ends. It's very long time. Billions of years. So, 1 kalpa, you see, that's how it is, 1 kalpa. So, the maintenance of the one, the maintenance of this whole planet, one, is the same time of the destruction. And then empty. And then starting. So it is 4. It's called 4 quarter. So that 4 quarter counts as 1 kalpa, 1 aeon. This is the cosmology study according to Buddhists. Some may agree, some may not agree. Doesn't matter. It is impermanent anyway. The 4th stage now is mentioned here up to 3rd stage of the form world. The 4th stage of meditative concentration will not be destroyed by fire, water, or wind. It is self-extinguishing when the sentient beings within it dies. It's also when the sentient beings, they are born, all established, the whole dimension, the palace, the place, all just come together. And dissolve when die, dissolve into emptiness together. So there is no other conditions, fire, water, wind can destroy them. The treasure of Abhidhamma says, the impermanence of these palaces arises and dissolves with the sentient beings. Further, it appears that this world will be destroyed by fire. Now, this our present planet, this world, looks like it will be destroyed by fire at the end. The householder Belgian request sutra says, after one kalpa, this world, which has the nature of space, will become space. See, even with the Meru will burn and disintegrate. So the word burn, from that word you understand this world will be consumed by the fire. So this is the gross way of contemplating how the world will be consumed or disintegrate. Subtle impermanence of the outer walls. The subtle impermanence can be seen in the changing of the four seasons, if there is a four season in the country. In the rising and the setting of the sun and the moon, too. And in the vanishing of the instant movement. First season, sun rising, and three. There are three. Vanishing of the instant movement. There are three topics on that. Subtle impermanence. First, by the power of the appearance of spring in this outer wall, the ground becomes soft. Now it's a spring here. Now you can contemplate. You see how things are changing. Ground becomes soft. Little warming. Because of warming, becomes soft. Soft and colors become reddish. You can see there a lot of trees become reddish. Means leaves have started coming, and grass, tree, and vegetables all start sprouting. This is but a sign of changing. So look at this is a sign of changing. Go outside, look at the tree, how everything's changing. This is impermanent. Just relax the mind there. Caused by impermanence. By the powerful appearance of summer, the ground becomes wet. A lot of rain, a lot of rain becomes wet. The color becomes green. And tree, grass, vegetables, and leaves open, fully opened. This is also change caused by impermanence. There's two. In this you see there are two types of impermanence. One like a cup. If you throw a rock on the cup, it destroys. So there's another cause, destruction of that. Another one, the moment exists itself is nature of impermanence, changing. Now these are natural. By being that way, it changes because of its impermanent. By power of autumn, the ground becomes hard. Now it's dry, hard, and the colors become yellowish. All the leaves become yellow, brown, red color. And the trees, grass, and fruit ripens. This also signifies impermanence, the changing of time. By the powerful approach of winter, all the ground becomes frozen when the snow falls, frozen. Colors fade to grayish, and grass and trees grow dry. Like in the tree before no leaves, looks like they're all dry. This also demonstrates the changing times in permanence. Now look at this, you just meditate, contemplate impermanence. Everything's changing. Look at this, Nothing stays in one moment. This is called everything's illusion. Just a manifestation. Just meditate, Go outside. Sit in your yard. Look at the tree, grass. Just meditate on impermanence. How beautiful, you see. How relaxing the mind. Establish all this now he is establishing everything is impermanent. To lose our wrong understanding, our confused mind, we are so confused outside, projecting outside. So this is here trying to disentangling our attachment to the outside. So they're looking at the four seasons to contemplate impermanence. Impermanence in the rising and the setting of the sun and moon means that by the power of the daybreak, this outer wall is clear and white. Here, white means not just a white color. This white means precise, clear and precise. But when night comes, it becomes dark. Then you cannot see. You need a light to see. It's completely two different. So look at this and meditate. This is impermanent. Daytime you go outside, walk. No fear. As soon as the dark comes, when you go outside, you have fear. There's something. So everything's house changing. Two complete different. The world is, you see. Just meditate, contemplate. Day is so beautiful, but it goes. So you can't attach to that beauty of the day. It just circulates. This is also a sign of impermanence. So then, day and night, when that happens, meditate on impermanence. More subtle than the fourth season. Third is impermanence seen in the vanishing of the instant moment. Each and every moment. The first moment of the world does not exist in the second moment. We just came in here, that we started breathing out in, just every moment is just vanishing. Then we said some beginning prayers, opening prayers, it's all finished. And so we started some talking, it's also vanishing. Just going, you see, every moment is going, you see. Look at our own mind, which will come later. Just changing every moment. So impermanent. So the capricious nature of the phenomena. It's so fickle.
Question. Can you be detached to something and still enjoy it? Like the day is beautiful.
Yes, you enjoy, But you joy in the peace of your mind, not outside. When you're not attached to this, then there is a joy, there is a peace within you. That's the greater peace than projecting outside. This is the point, he's making point. How to create real peace, joy within you. We are confused. Our joy and happiness will come from outside. This is what he's saying here. Everything is impermanent, changing. So you enjoy when you got good weather. So when it's bad weather, now what happened? See, you cannot enjoy any longer. So your joy depends outside. It's so impermanent, so unreliable. This is illusion. See, make sense? Look at this, you see. We are here, as I mentioned, not culture is presenting, but try to implement, try to see it makes sense. Now, and then you just apply. See, the inner, okay. Each moment is similar, and because of the similarity, they're so similar, like a stream or river. Today you go there, a group of people, and you see the river. And tomorrow you go there, and you see the same river. You'll say, I saw this river yesterday. And we're so deluded, our mind. The river, what you saw yesterday, is gone. What you see now is a different one. We don't realize everything's how instant, how momentary. So look at this, now meditate. It's making your mind more sharp, more clear. Because our gross mind cannot capture this sharp or the instant nature. These are the critical nature why we have to practice. We are deluded, see, and perceive them as the same, like the flowing of a river, see, like that. So these are the subject that describes about the impermanence of the phenomena outer world, how to see them as impermanent, how they are changing. Look at this. Make very clear yourself. Usually like this will take maybe a whole book to write. And Gampopa described in a one page, a page and a half, you see. Contemplate. See. It's very precise, very clear.
I have a technical question that's bugging me.
Oh?
I have a technical question that's bugging me.
I don't. Your technical question looks like a little diluted question.
The meditative concentration, the use of the words meditative concentration. When I think of meditative concentration, I think of that as something that's internal, personal to me.
Yes, it is.
I'm relating it to the outside world and its formation. It talks about levels of meditation.
Again, you see. Which one is meditating? The outer world or your mind?
Well,
see. It's your mind, that's your mind which is analyzing, understanding, meditating. As I mentioned, there are two types of meditation: analytical meditation and stabilizing meditation. Right now here we are talking about the analyzing meditation. You analyze, contemplate, Meditation means not just make your mind blank, sit there. It's the training of the mind. Exercise your mind. Make sure you understood, and then make sure you have practiced that.